Hey guys, Chris here with Mobile Attractions. Today we're going to be going over the Replica SLP Firehawk spoiler sold by G8only.com. What you can expect when unboxing your spoiler is that the spoiler is a 100% replica of the original. It does come with a satin black gel coat finish on the exterior, and the underbelly side that sits on your trunk is a raw fiberglass. Both sides are 100% replica. So the basic tools that we'll need when prepping the spoiler for proper fitment are a flat edge razor blade, a Sharpie of some sorts. I prefer the silver. They tend to put out a little bit more ink when marking something on fiberglass. Either a buddy or a pair of clamps. I prefer the clamps because they stay in the same spot. You don't have to worry about someone sliding their end or vice versa. When using clamps, I recommend to use ones with the rubber tips so that you don't scratch your spoiler or your trunk lid. You'll also need some type of a handheld sander like a DA or your basic handheld grinder, as well as either a drill or a Dremel with wire wheel. The first thing that we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll clean up the outer edge of our spoiler. If there's any raw glass on the edge that could cause us to get stuck in the finger, we'll go ahead and we'll clean that off now, just so we have an easier process. So what we'll do here is if we see anything, small little spot right here, we'll take the razor blade, just run along that and chip it right off. This doesn't affect the outer edge. We're just cleaning up the bottom edge so that we don't get stuck when working with the part. Once we've done this, we'll go ahead and we'll move to use our handheld sander on the front edge of the spoiler facing the cabin of the car. Any high spots that you may notice in the raw glass between the two parts, we'll go ahead and we'll sand down so they're flush with the front edge. Here we have a small high spot. Here we have a high spot. And here we have a high spot. What we'll do with our sander now is go ahead and flatten these spots down just to the point that they're flush with our front outer edge. Make sure not to dig into this front outer edge. We don't want to affect the finish of the part on the car. Once we've done the front edge, we'll go ahead and we'll move to the rear. This one's going to be a very similar process. We'll use our handheld sander or grinder to go ahead and push this material back so we have a nice 90-degree edge from our finished edge down to the mounting deck. Let's go ahead and we'll push this in right here. A couple little high spots. Push it in here, small high spot. And we'll push it in right here where we have a high spot. Once we've done this, we'll go ahead and we'll move to the vehicle. This spoiler has been pre-sanded for this video just to go ahead and speed things up. What we'll want to do now is either get our buddy or get our clamps. We'll hold down one side in the proper area. And clamp the spoiler like so. The spoiler does sit approximately 1/8 of an inch in from the outer trunk lid edge. Once we have one side done, we'll move to the other side. Go ahead and take a walk around the trunk lid now and make sure that we are satisfied with the fit of the spoiler. If we have any high spots or spots that we're not happy with, we'll probably just have an area where we need to go back and sand a little bit more off. It's ideal to use our silver Sharpie at this time now to go ahead and mark where the problem area begins. It's probably going to happen from the middle and work its way outward rather than from the outside and work its way inward. But we'll go ahead and mark where that issue appears to be starting, take it off, look at our marked area, and go ahead and pat that in a little bit more with our handheld sander, whether it be on the front or on the back. Once you've done this and you've put the spoiler back on the trunk lid with the clamps, we can go ahead and mark the spoiler now for proper location. Use our silver Sharpie and make sure to do an entire circle through the existing mounting location on your trunk lid. Once the spoiler is marked, we can go ahead and remove it from the trunk lid. As you can see, I have a nice silver circle here, as well as a nice silver circle here. This circle marks the center of our bolt hole. At this time, we'll go ahead and use a drill bit to drill into this area. Alright guys, once our spoiler has been marked for proper mounting locations, what we're going to go ahead and do is create a slot to slide our bolts in. From the existing hole that we just created or marked, we'll go ahead and we'll mark where our slot's going to be to slide our bolt in. You may want to stop here, or we can go ahead and bring it out to this first step right here. At this point, it's all personal preference. Once we know that the end of our bolt hole will be centered on this dot, and this is the path that we chose to slide the head of our bolt in through, we'll go ahead and we'll mark this way so we know this is the direction that the head of the bolt will come through. We'll go ahead and we'll use our handheld Dremel now to cut our hole, as well as the slot to this first step. And then we'll use the Dremel this way to cut our slot. Once we have a nice T cut in there, we can take the head of our bolt, slide in through the slot, all the way down to the existing, or to the marked hole where the center of your trunk lid hole is, and we can go ahead and proceed to mounting. At this time, personal preference, but suggested, run a edge of 3M double-sided red tape around the outer perimeter of your spoiler. Go ahead and peel that off so the tape is exposed. The studs will be poking out of the spoiler. We can go ahead and move back to the spoiler or to the trunk lid. If you have any more questions, feel free to email Joe at info@g8only.com or Chris at contact@mobileattractionsllc.com. Thank you.